Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Azikri bin Muhammad Fizi. I'm from UiTM Campus Tapa. My student ID is 2022978157. And for today, we are going to continue from where we have left off, which is for my assignment 2 508, where we will be using queue and stack, which is different from the previous one, which was using array list. So first here I am going to start with the linked list. So here we have declared the class of linked list with the attributes of node, which is head, tail and current. So here we have declared the constructor and all the booleans, and these are the methods that will be used in the linked list, such as insert at front, insert at back, get first, get next, get last, remove from front, remove from back. These are all used in linked list, as we will be using it to alter the data in the list. Next is we are going to the node, where here the node is the attributes are object data and node next. Here is the constructor, and here is for updating the data. Set next is for updating the reference to the next node in the list. Get data is to return the data, and next is to get the next data. And this is the toString method. Then we are going to the empty list exception. This one here just will return the list is empty if our output has not met the condition. Next, we will go to queue, where queue extends linked list, which means that the queue inherits attributes from the linked list. So here we have enqueue, dequeue, get front, get end. These are the methods in queue, where enqueue means that we will insert the data into the queue. Dequeue means that we will remove the data from the queue. And the method toString down here is to print the queue. Now for the stack. Stack also extends from the linked list, as stack also inherits the attributes from linked list. Here we have push, pop, where push means that it will push the object into the stack, and for pop, it will pop it out from the stack. It will return the object. So then we are going to the expression conversion, where we will do conversion from infix to postfix. Here is the addition sign, the subtract, the multiply, the division, and also the priority for the one includes in it, where it will push, depends on what the user will input, as seen here. It will pop by using precedence of which one is the highest in its priority. So now we are going to my class, which is I made a class keyboard. The attributes are string name type, integer for quantity, and also price as double. So here is the default constructor, the normal constructor. This is the mutator for the keyboard class. This is the getter. And here, the last one for the keyboard class is the toString method. So now we will go to the main app. Here we have imported scanner, option pane, and also decimal format, since we have prices which will have decimal points in it. So first, here we create a new queue where we declare the new queue as Q1. Here is the stack S1 as the new stack. Decimal format is for declaring the decimal, the method. Here is the attributes for the main app, where NM is short for the name, TY is short for the type, and QUA is short for quantity, and price double is for price. So here for this line here, we will ask the user to get input. So that's require user to input how many number of keyboard that has. And here for the for loop here, we will enter the keyboard name, the keyboard type, the keyboard quantity, and the keyboard price. So here it will loop, depends on how many input that the user puts. So after the user has successfully input all the required data, then it will then be added into the new queue, Q1 and Q. Next, here we declare a new temporary queue, which is QTemp, where the object that we declare here as object is object B. And then we also declare the attribute for sum and average, which I will be using double here. So for the while loop here, where Q1 is empty, so the first one is that it is going to dequeue the current one from the queue which was Q1. Here we declare a new object where V2 is object B. So for some formula here is that we get the quantity, which will be multiplied with the price. So after that, here it will insert the new data of the sum into the queue. Next is that we have average, where we will calculate set average, which the total of all the price here is divided with the number of keyboard. So here it will return the total amount of all the keyboard's prices in the decimal format of the total price, the sum, the summarize. Then here it will return the average price for the keyboard by using average that we have declared previously here. So after that, here for the loop here is that we will dequeue the temporary queue for object B, and it will insert it into Q1, the main queue that we have declared before. Next is for calculating the max minimum, where I have declared the keyboard max min. Here is the attributes for min, integer min, and also integer max for the maximum quantity. So for the load here, it will first dequeue from Q1 where object 1 is, and declaring a new object which is v3 as the object 1. So here the condition will be that if the quantity is lower than min, then it will push into the minimum. Then if it is the price is higher than max, then it will be declared as the max, where then it will be queued into the temporary queue as v3. And here is where it will come out into an output, as it will show the minimum amount of keyboard, and this one will return the maximum amount of keyboard. Next is for searching, where we will be using boolean, and the declaration is for as string search name, where here it will ask the user to input if either we want to search for the name of keyboard or not. If we input Y, so it will then ask us to enter the name of the keyboard, which one that we want to search. So if after we input it, so the loop will run for a while, where it will dequeue from the object find and declare it as v10 for the new object, new keyboard. So if the name is equals to the name that the user input, if it's true, then it will break, and it will then queue up into the new temporary queue, which is v10. Otherwise it will exit the search. So after we have found, so it will return as keyboard found. Else if, where if the condition is not met, then it will return keyboard is not found, while qtemp is empty. For the object find here, it will dequeue, and then it will enqueue, where it will insert at the front of q1 for object find. So then here is just to get the quantity of the keyboards. So next here it will also display the info of the queue, where it will display all the keyboards that we have inputted, and also it will also return the info of the stack, like what is the name, the quantity, and the type of the keyboard. And then here we declare a new stack s3 as s3 in the name. So for the display, it will be displayed in the first stack, the s1, it will pop up, and it will display the object in the keyboard. Next is, if we want to delete data, it will ask the user. If user says yes, then it will clear out the stack. If not, then it will say stack is not clear. So for the infix to postfix, it will ask the user to input any expression, where I will be demonstrating after this. So here is the string method, which will return it after we have input. So now I will show for the output of the coding. Here I'm just going to put 3. First name is alpha. The type here I'm going to put capital. Quantity I'm going to put 10. Keyboard price 120 and 90 cents. Keyword name for the second one is beta. zeta, I'm going to put, just an example, polyester. Quantity, I'm going to put 15. Price is 120 and 95 cents. Keyboard name for the third one, I'm going to put zeta. Into keyboard type, I'm going to put as plastic. Quantity, I'm going to put 12. Price is 150. So here it will show the keyboard price. The amount is the total of all the keyboards that I have put. The quantity here is the calculation for the average of the keyboard price. This is the minimum one for the quantity, which is 10, and maximum is 15. So we will now search for the keyboard, so I'm going to put yes. I'm going to search for beta, the middle one, the second one. So here it shows that the keyboard is found. So the beta is now in a new queue of itself. So here for the info of the queue is that we can only see zeta and alpha, and this is because beta has been dequeued from this queue, Q1, and has been put into a new queue. So Q is first in, first out, as we all know. And then for the stack also is that we can see that beta is not included here, as beta has been popped out from the stack. So it will only show keyboard for alpha and zeta. So now I'm going to delete this stack. So now I will input stack expression. So let's say A times B minus C divided by D times E plus F. So here it will show the postfix expression. So that is all from me. Thank you.